Brady.
Hello.
Yeah, I saw you pop up there. Now that I'm running Skype on my phone again. And it just makes life so much easier because I can see directly when people pop in and out. What is going on with this keyboard?
So Brady, do you have all the stats and everything for the robot for Gort? I have it. I can click anything that you need if you want. I have all the. Just ask. I'll tell you.
Yeah, he's got the whole thing macroed and all of that.
Yeah.
Good. I think it is working. I'm 2 for 2. Okay. So we will be picking up where we left off last week. The party is on the last test of Auril. We left off in initiative with them fighting against Isar Kronenstrom as he is coming back to finish the job and kill the kid with the little snow leopard cub named Eric Vokatov, who is the son of a tribe elder, and Isar came in and slaughtered his tribe, and he is the last remaining member. But before we do that, I would like to thank the Friends of the Greenwater Guildhall. It should be noted that none of these are sponsorships or partnerships. We just really like the products that they make. If you are watching on Twitch, scroll down. You should see some tiles there. Each of those tiles will take you to these individuals' websites. If you don't see the tiles, click on my profile image, and those tiles should pop up. The first on our list is Dogmite Games. Dogmite Games make beautiful wooden products for your tabletop role-playing games, such as dice vaults and rolling trays and DM screens. And they have this thing called the Player Pad, which is really cool. You should check it out. All of this stuff, they do customizable work. But if you don't want to wait for customization and you just want to order something, they usually have in-stock items, and those in-stock items will ship within 1 to 2 business days. They're really quick about it. Of course, customized options can take 6 to 8 weeks. It depends on how fancy you want to get. If you would like, there is a code that will get you 10% off their entire stock online. Just use our code of FRIEND in all capital letters when you check out, and you'll get a 10% discount. Next on the list is the Speechless Barge. She and her husband make beautiful leather products for your tabletop role-playing games, such as she's got a full line of leather dice bracelets that are leather bracelets with dice cutouts on them. She has a rolling pad that you can customize and roll up. It looks like a spell scroll. She does amazing work. She is incredibly talented. If you're going to order from her, you might want to give yourself a little bit of extra time. She's over in the UK, so it could take a little bit of time to cross the pond. We also like Fable Beard Company. They make beard products such as oils, balms, butters, and co-wash. They have a full line of deodorant and a new line of body lotion. And each of their scent profiles is a different fantasy character. Today I am wearing the Candyman, which is still a fall scent that I've been hanging on to. It smells like candied apples. If you are a first-time purchaser, they have a buy one, get one free option. So go to their website, and which is fablebeardco.com, create an account, and then you can put 2 beard oils into your cart, and if you use the code FIRST in all capital letters, that second beard oil will be discounted to free. If you are a fan of Traveler, our Wednesday night Traveler games, you can check out our website. The adventure log is written in the manner of Traveler News Service news articles. And yeah, go ahead and give it a check. And if you enjoy our content, please give us a thumbs up, fan like. If you are a Magic the Gathering player and you are in Eastern Washington or Eastern Oregon, there is a new shop that has started business. Actually, they're an old shop that my nephew has taken over. He's not really my nephew. I claim him, though. They are called Tolarian Tabletops. They have a number of cards available, not just new cards, but they also trade cards as well. And if I can get my shit together, here we go. So yeah, Tolarian Tabletops, they are located at 1055 South Highway 395, Suite 202 in Hermiston, Oregon. If you have a question about cards that you would like to know if they have in stock or if there's something you'd like to sell, you can go ahead and call, ask for Kyle. Their phone number is 541-305-5744. All right, so where we left off, let me see here. All right, so where we left off, you guys had been doing the tests of Auril the Frostmaiden. This particular test, she has a whole bunch of them. She's kind of witchy in the way that these tests are laid out. They are, they're not difficult, but they are questionably brutal. This is the test of preservation. And each one of these tests, when the party would accept the test, they'd open the door, and a breeze of snow, wind, and ice would come in, and they would be transported somewhere else. And it is not an illusion. It is not a hallucination. They are physically transported to these locations. This particular test, the last of them, you have been transported to a Reghead tribe. It seems like all of these tests involve the Reghead barbarians. And this camp, this particular camp, hold on here, I'm trying to find the kid. Where's the kid? So you guys showed up and you found this camp completely obliterated, and everybody was dead, but you find hiding in a tent, you find a kid wearing little more than short pants and a fur cloak, and he's got a frost leopard cub with him. And he is the last member. He is the son of the chief of the wolf tribe, and it looks like an upstart came in and killed off everybody in a bid to try and take over the wolf tribe. And this guy's name is Isar Kronenstrom. And before you can get him out, Isar kind of comes to the realization they didn't kill everybody. He doesn't want any loose threads. He doesn't want somebody else with a claim to the title of chief. And so he's now returned to finish what he started. And so we are already into initiative. Isar is...
For my notes, Isar is a tiger tribe member?
It says... Oh, I think... no, it says... Let me try to determine what it is that he's trying to say here, because I'm going to metagame here completely off the track, and this is a brief review. These tests, I don't know what Chris Perkins was thinking, but these tests are terrible. And I kind of knew that they were going to be god awful when I read through them initially. This is one of those sections, and almost every campaign has this section where you read it and you're like, this is just going to be a pain in the ass to run. It's incredibly difficult. There's really honestly no reason for it. It's just stupid and it gets in the way. But you kind of have to do it in order to get to the next part. And so every time I run into these, I'm always left with, well, we're just going to forge ahead and punch our way through no matter how bad it sucks. And And unfortunately, in some cases, you can kind of, as the DM, you can fix them. This is not one of those cases. There's really no repair work that would make these good. They just suck right out of the chute. So there's really nothing. There's no redeeming quality to these. I don't know. I should have probably just made you pick the lock and just forgiven.
I was fine with getting pissed off at the cannibal tribe and just saying screw cannibalism.
Right.
And then we got the tiger tribe. After we passed that test, they said they were our ally, and now we're dealing with the bear tribes are cannibals, the tiger tribes are ally. Now we got the wolf tribes.
So this is the wolf tribe. So this is the wolf tribe, and Isar
Cronin, kid, right?
Yeah, Isar Kronenstrom is also a part of the wolf tribe. He is kind of a rebellious civil war. There was a civil war kind of going on, and so he's trying to kill off this kid so that the only person left to take over would be Isar Kronenstrom and not this kid.
All right, I can deal with that.
Isar is towards the northwest side of the map. He's coming in, and it is Thomas's turn. Thomas, what would you like to do?
Do I see anybody?
He wasn't quiet about coming in. He was bellowing, so I mean, you know that he's coming.
All right.
He is.
Who's that guy up here?
Yeah, he is a good. He's a good 70 feet away from you. Maybe 75.
Well, I'll dash up to him, I guess. Or towards him, at least. Come on, you stupid.
So here's a little trick. If you click on your token to drag him, you click and hold, then click your right mouse button and move him, it will do a meter to tell you how far you're moving. It's kind of a nifty little trick.
I think that's 50.
That seems about right, yeah. Okay.
Just scream at him. You bet you're doomed.
So you did a dash. Okay.
Dash.
If you wanted to, as a bonus action, oh no, your bonus action would.
No, there's nothing.
Yeah, nothing left. Okay. Sam, what would Sam and Gort and Falling Rocks like to do?
If you're talking, Sam, I can't hear you.
Yeah, his mic might be muted.
Thank you.
In our Traveler game, it's always funny because Carrie does that all the time, but she has her camera and Skype on, and so I'll see her talking directly to the screen, and I'm like, we're not getting any of that. You seem quite animated, but we heard nothing. Looks exciting.
You need to make a little 8.5 by 11 sheet that says your mic is muted, and you can just pick it up.
Right? Yeah, just hold it up. Yeah.
I'm gonna cast Vicious Mockery.
Okay. What is the range on? Well, yeah, you must be within range. Most of those spells have a range of like 120 feet. So let's see. He gets a wisdom
60 feet, actually.
60 feet?
Yeah. And he moved forward, so you should be close.
Yeah, you're probably close. Let's see here.
No, looks like you got to move a little more.
Yeah. Yeah, that should be good. Close enough. All right, so he has to make a whiz save. I would be willing to bet that a 12 isn't going to do it.
Yay. Where'd my die go? staring me in the face.
Isar has mommy issues.
4 damage and disadvantage on attack.
Okay, hold on. What is going on? There we go. Let me get out my pen. All right, here we go. All right, so he took 4 damage.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's not even really enough for him to get a headache yet. But he definitely has your number. What would you like Gort to do?
First, Falling Rocks is gonna stand right in front of me and shoot twice.
Yeah, he's got line of sight. Okay, go for it.
19 to hit,
Okay.
and 20 no, that's another 19.
Yep, both those hit.
$15 total damage.
Okay. All right. And Gort.
And I'm gonna have Gort. What's his movement?
It's 30.
Ah, that's fine.
Now, don't keep in mind, you want Gort to stay, within 30 feet or 60 feet of him to gain the +2 to AC?
Yeah.
Well, if he's within 60 feet, he'll split the damage that you take. If he's within 5 feet, you get +2 armor class as well.
Okay.
The 60 feet is probably more important.
Yeah. I'll just have him.
Now, he is also large, so you should be able to get cover. So not only do you get 2 armor class, but if you hide behind him, you can put disadvantage on it.
Good point. I'm gonna have him stand right next to Thomas.
Okay. I don't remember, did
A little bit in front.
Hold on, did I give you control?
Yeah, you might need to. I'll move Gort. So he's going to come up there. But yeah, I don't know that Brady's got.
Yeah,
Brady doesn't have control.
You might not have control. Let me add Brady. Nope, I've failed. So there is Sam. And Brady should also have access to Gort's character sheet now. Okay, so yeah, you both have control of Gort. All right.
And Brady, sometimes in my other games, people have to go to the little gear icon, and there's they've changed the format. There was like a reconnect, and that.
Yeah, if you scroll down, you should see in the audio section there should be an option for reconnecting, and that should reconnect you and refresh. Doesn't always need to be done, but it's not a terrible idea.
I just refreshed the page itself, and that worked.
That works too, yeah. Okay, so I saw. is going to move 30 feet to right here. And he is going to shoot a heavy crossbow at Thomas. Not really who he wants, but 16 to hit.
Nope.
Well, screw him then. And he just drops the crossbow and he pulls out a sickle. In fact, he pulls out 2 sickles. He's got one in each hand. And kind of, gets into a combat stance, ready to mess up whoever comes near him. Turpin, what would you like to do?
This little kid, how big is he?
Not.
And the reason I ask is my max lift is like 90 pounds. I have a strength of 6.
He's like 11 years old. You probably could lift him up.
He's at the max limit. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I'll tell him, stay here, kid. We'll protect you. And then my bonus action, I'm going to snap my fingers and get my little feet tornadoes.
Okay.
So I can get some situational awareness and not be down where he can chop me to bits.
Get a little lift in your step.
Yeah. So the boy is going to stay right. I'll make a little mark and tell him to stay right here.
Okay.
Right there where it says B. So my bonus action is to get a little lift in my step, and I can't really see anything, so I will have to fly upward where I am and about 15 feet maybe to see over the tops of these things.
Yeah, that would be enough.
Okay, so I'm going to go up 15 feet and look, and now I'm like, oh, I see what's happening. Now, when I say I see what's happening, do I see that Isar is alone, or does he have his 6 other buddies?
No, he's by himself.
Aha. Okay.
He's that confident.
Boy, go and help Thomas. All right, so that's my order to boy.
Okay.
So he'll go up there and fight, and I'll do a zap or two to the bad guy.
Okay.
Over the top of that hut.
Sure. Go ahead.
Zap number 1 is I blew my fingertip off, and in the agony I lose zap number 2.
So
my fingertip regrows.
Yeah, you blow a hole through this hut here. It now doesn't have a roof. Is your nat 1. But hey, at least it's not an ice sculpture. And then you can move boy. He can dash for 80 feet, I believe.
Let's see. Boy's movement is 40. Oh, yeah, it's true. Oh, all right. He'll dash up here and get alongside Thomas.
Okay.
Done. There we go.
All right. We are back to Tomas. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna move here and stab.
All right. Well, actually, you want to be a little closer than that, but there you go. What'd you get?
12.
That's a miss.
All right.
Bonus action?
No.
Okay. All right. Sam, what would you like to do?
I am going to go over here. cast Dissonant Whispers.
Okay. Ooh. 21 to save.
Okay. That is half damage then.
Okay.
So a half is 4 damage.
Okay.
I would have been. Okay. And Fun Rocks. It's gonna do a nice little jaunt over here.
Okay.
And do his shoot
Okay.
for nat 20
Nice. Double damage.
and 11.
11's a miss. Which is probably good that you got the nat 20.
16 damage.
Okay. Yeah, Isar's like, probably need to do something about him. And Gort.
Gonna come right up here and start pummeling.
All right. He's got 2 slam attacks. Gort smash.
And
I don't know how to do that.
if you have his sheet open, there's in the middle it says attacks and spellcasting. There's Gort left punch and Gort right punch in the middle of the sheet.
Okay.
And if it's a hit, click on the words like Gort left punch. If that was a hit, you just click on those words in the chat log, not on the sheet, but on the chat log.
So left punch hits.
Alright. So it's 11.
11.
Okay.
But he does 11 all the time. That's
Yeah.
just part of his charm.
Okay. All right.
That's cool.
So that's everything for Sam. So Isar's got to get serious about this. So he is going to make he's going to make 2 attacks on Thomas and 1 on Gort. First sickle attack, 16 misses Thomas. Second sickle attack, 17.
Yep.
That hits? All right. Oh, well, that's disappointing as hell. That's what that is. Sickles are a huge letdown. For 6 points of piercing damage. Never known a sickle that does piercing damage, but whatever. And then 1 attack on Gort. 22 to hit. For 4 points of piercing damage. Womp womp. All right. So that was his big claim to fame. Turpin, what would you like to do?
So I'm looking at Isar, and he's got this sickle. He's thrown his crossbow to the ground.
Yes.
Does he have other large weapons poking up over his back like a big old Zweihander or?
Nope. He's got a sickle in each hand.
Okay. Oh, he has 2 sickles that are in each hand.
Yeah, 1 in each
He
hand.
has bicycle.
No, he's a snow harvester. He's got that curved little wheat thing.
He's
All right.
the best lacrosse player in the tribe.
everybody seems to be doing just fine so far. So I'm gonna shepherd my eldritch power and gonna finger blast him for double damage with a 16.
Yep.
And then the second one is a miss. No, 13, that'll miss.
So, let's see here.
So the first one is either 32 or it's 26.
You can do 32. I'll let you.
No, really care.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Second one is a miss.
Okay, then that's that. And boy will come over here. And boy's gonna come right there. Go right and go for the ankles. Get him, boy. Bite them ankles.
Boy is now a Chihuahua. 17 hits.
Yeah, get him, bite. So 5 damage, and he's got a DC 11 save, or he gets knocked prone.
That is a strength save. He gets a 16.
Okay. And the second bite is a 16. Does that hit him or not?
It does.
Okay. And it's 7 damage, piercing, and another strength save, because boy's over there worrying his ankles.
Okay. 22 to save.
Okay. And that's the end of my round.
Okay. Well, this guy is not looking so tough now. Thomas.
Okay.
Poke.
Okay. 21?
Yeah.
Two. 26.
26 points of damage?
Yeah.
Holy shit. Thomas comes in for the win and just carves this guy's kidneys out. And drops him. Like a boss. All right. So Arthur Kronenstrom is no more.
I'm going to take the boy over to see the corpse of his tribe's death, genocide, and we'll see if there's anything from him that the boy needs to, as a trophy of war or something.
Okay.
Keep the sickles, boy. They're the weapons of your enemy.
Off in the distance, past the edge of the camp, you see a wolf start loping toward the camp, but it seems it's just acting. It's not in a threatening manner at all. It's not in a hurry, and the wolf, as it gets closer to the camp or closer to you guys, after coming into the camp, the wolf speaks to you. The wolf tells you, I will bear the boy Eric safely to another wolf tribe camp. And Eric's kind of comes out of the tent, and he seems inclined to go with the wolf. What do you guys decide?
Let's see. We're in the preservation or whatever test.
Correct.
Okay.
And Eric's himself is part of Wolf Tribe, so.
And we walked through the door in the snow, and it just popped up here in this conflict instantly, right?
Yeah, he just appeared.
All right. I believe we should accompany the boy.
The wolf is fine with that.
And he
And
gets there safely.
he takes you off, or he leads the way for you. After about 3 days of travel, you reach another wolf tribe camp, And when you come into the camp, the tribe member, or when you come towards the camp, the wolf tribe members are at first, they arm themselves and they're cautious, but the wolf tells them to be calm, do not attack. They have protected Eric's, the boy. And you come into the camp, and the chief and the chief's wife come out and take the boy, and they kind of speak to the wolf. And as you are standing there about to have a conversation, you notice that the glowing snowflake above all of your heads fades and blinks out of existence. And the next thing you know, there's a blast of wind, ice, and snow, and you are back in the dungeon, right where you were when you left. And a voice comes out and says, the toast of preservation has been completed. So, you've completed all 4 tests. According to the walrus, the next phase would be to go through the southern entrance to get to the vault. That's what he says.
All right.
The passage leads to an anvil-shaped room with a door set in the far wall. Flanking the door are bas-reliefs of 2 male frost giants that have been defaced, their features chipped away. Newer carvings above the door depict the glowing heads of an owl, a wolf, and a goat. A disembodied voice says, "This way is shut to all but those who pass the tests of cruelty, endurance, isolation, and preservation." So you guys are actually...
Yeah. We've passed your tests.
Whoops.
Yeah, that's a big oops. Turpin's not up there in the front. No way.
I'll be in the front. Kicking doors and taking lives.
Yeah. Tomas is our door kicker.
Okay, and so there's this door, and the door doesn't appear to have any. It's you can tell that it's a door, but it's just a sheet of a big thick sheet of ice. There's no handle on it, and it appears much like other frost giant architecture, that it doesn't have any external hinges. There's a, if it was a wood door, there would be a pin that goes all the way through the middle of that door that goes up into the ceiling. It looks like you would just press on or push on the door. Whether or not it opens, you'd have to find out. Is that what you're doing?
I'll push on it.
Okay.
Whatever.
Okay. You push the door open, and it leads you south into 21. Arranged about this room are 3 tablets of ice, each 10 feet tall, 7 feet wide, and 1 foot thick. They sit upright in stands that are also carved from ice. Script has been chiseled into the surface of each tablet. Another door stands in the middle of the far wall to the south.
Push on it.
Push on, you're just going to go straight to push on that door?
I want to look at the script.
All right.
Okay, so the scripts on these tablets, the first one that you read, it says, "Compassion makes you vulnerable. Let cruelty be the knife that keeps your enemies at bay." The next one says, "Exist as long as you can by whatever means you can. Only by enduring can you outlast your enemies." The next one says, "In solitude, you can understand and harness your full potential. Depending on others makes you weak." And the last one says, "Every flake of snow is unique, and that which is unique must be preserved."
Yeah. Auril's got a screw loose. Moving on.
So Thomas pushes on the next door, the chamber has a domed ceiling engraved with a giant snowflake. 2 caryatids depicting a towering woman standing on either side of the door in the south wall. In the middle of the room is a 5-foot tall claw-shaped lectern with a white covered book resting on it.
Okay.
Is that the book you're after?
Yeah. Clearly, that seems like that ought to be the Codicile in White.
It is, and so Velin Harpel comes up and she says, "That is indeed the Codicile of White. There are no wards or creatures guarding it." She comes up and is eager to claim the book. She says, "Give me just a moment," and she flips through the book. And there is a spell in the book, and she starts to copy the spell down into her spell book. There is another door to the south, however.
I push it open.
Well, this copying is going to take some time. Are you sure you want to do that here? Are you intending to leave the book here once you've got the spell copied?
She says, once we leave here, we'll take the book with us because we will need the Rime of the Frostmaiden in order to open the waterfall.
This is going to take you. It's going to take you hours to copy that spell, right?
No, not that long. It is. She tells you. She said it is the spell Frost Fingers.
Okay.
None of you can learn spells from books, right?
I
don't.
I've got that book thing that warlocks get, whatever, that book of ancient secrets. I don't know if that lets me get rituals. That's all I can do.
Yeah, Frost Fingers wouldn't do any good as a ritual.
Yep. Nope.
All
right. Well, if it's not going to take too long, let's not open the door to the south until we've got Velen not sitting there like a target.
Okay. So to tell you, Frost Fingers, freezing cold blasts from your fingertips in a 15-foot cone. Each creature in that area must make a Constitution saving throw, taking 2d8 cold damage on a failed save or half as much on a successful one. The cold freezes non-magical liquids in the area that aren't being worn or carried. When you cast a spell using a spell slot of 2nd level or higher, the damage increases by 1d8 for each spell slot above 1st. This is a 1st level spell, so that's actually a pretty rockin' 1st level spell. And so she's copying it down into her spell book. It takes her about 2 hours, and she's got it copied down. And she closes the book and she says, "We have what we have come for, but there's one other door still."
Yeah.
Yeah, I kick it open.
Okay.
Yeah.
Beyond the door is a small room filled with mist. Chunks of broken ice cover the floor. Make a perception check, Thomas.
27.
So you can see through the mist that is covering this room that the fragments of ice on the floor are actually fragments of 3 lifelike human ice sculptures. So, here's my question: Did you get a secret? Do you remember what your secret was?
Yeah, something about a ring. A ring and a trout.
Okay.
A ring or a gem.
So you hear a disembodied voice, and it says, "Will you court death to receive my blessing?"
I've courted death and fucked her in the ass. I'm game for your challenge.
Okay. Make a DC 21 Constitution saving throw.
4.
Uh-oh.
That's fine.
You see Thomas become petrified and turned into an ice sculpture.
Oh, yeah. Okay. This is not good.
So he's like just inside the door, and you see him kind of just become a frozen ice statue.
I'm gonna slowly walk up, knock on his head.
Slowly
Like,
close the
you
door.
right there?
You're
Still
gonna
there?
slowly walk up and knock on Thomas.
Yeah, just
There's
lightly knock on
fog.
his head. Like, are you still in there?
It's fog that turns you to a solid icicle. Don't go into the fog.
Close the door. Close the door.
So you see that in this ice, you see that Thomas is kind of in the middle of this ice. The ice is formed around him. And you see that his his eyes are still open, but they have started to glow with a pale blue.
We need to get him out of the fog.
Yeah.
I mean, does anybody have dispel magic? We could try. We could try that. I can't do it.
But we have Gort with the.
Gort, go in there, pick him up, and haul him out of there.
So Velen, actually not Velen, Valish Gant has dispel magic. He casts it.
Let's get him out of the fog first, because
So Gort drags Thomas out, and Valish Gant casts dispel magic on him, and the dispel magic does get rid of the ice, and Thomas, you're able to move again, and you have been given a blessing. You have gained immunity to cold damage. In addition, you can cast the Cone of Cold spell one time. And you regain the ability to cast a spell after you finish a long rest. And the spell save DC for your Cone of Cold spell is DC 15.
Wow. So you gained magical power. Sounds like this would have been death if you had gone in there alone.
Right. Which is what happened to the other 3 people that were in there.
Yeah, suck on it, Auril. You and your go it alone mantra. Well, Turpin has a history of fascination with magic, but he also is basically just trying to do good in the world. So he's torn because this is a foolish thing to do, but magic.
But magic. Yeah. This is a blessing of the Frostmaiden, and which, I mean, I don't know how you feel about that. She is an evil god. I
don't think I know any of that.
I would almost say that Auril. I want to say that Auril is chaotic evil. Don't quote me on that though. But she kind of acts like a cray bitch.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be my guess. That's
Well, gods kind of suck.
No, she's neutral evil. But so she can revoke the blessing at any time. But she's only willing to give it out once, and Thomas was the one who stepped in. So.
Well, Turpin will step in there very nervously, thinking, he's going to at least try, because he doesn't know all this godlike DM knowledge. And
so
nothing happens.
Nothing happens. At this stage, you have a couple of decisions to make. Villain Harpel and Valish Gant are like, okay, let's get the hell out of here. But you guys are in the dungeon of Grimscale. By the way, you all get a level. So take your next level. So you're what, level 8 now?
Uh-huh.
So you have a couple of decisions here. The first is whether or not you want to go to the doorway to the north, where the walrus told you there was the tomb of a frost giant queen. If you want to check that out for even more fat loots. Then the next question, after if you decide to do that or not, the next question is, do you want to go up and confront Auril now? Or you want to come back and confront her later?
Yeah, I don't really feel like I have godlike power yet. And basically it'd be like falling on my knees going, please, please, please stop freezing the world.
Yeah, I mean, you could... Yeah, she's probably not going to... Probably not going to do that. I mean, like I said, you could come back here later and deal with her, but...
Yeah.
Come on, there's 6
I say we round up 50 high-level paladins to come with us up here, and...
She's not that bad. Well...
She can't
It's
be
a
that
god.
bad.
She's,
I mean...
Well,
No,
she's a god on the... But she's on the prime material plane,
She's a cold bitch who won't give up the poo.
Right. Right. Yeah, she's a god, but she doesn't have, she's not as powerful as if you were dealing with her on her own plane of existence. She's on the prime material plane. That doesn't mean that she's weak in any way, but, I mean, let's see here. First form, second form.
I mean, she's kind of a wuss. All she can do is freeze 5,000 square miles of land.
No, that's a spell.
She's not that powerful.
We can take her.
No, I'm telling you. Like,
I'm serious. She can't be that bad.
Her challenge rating is between 9 and 11.
Who's died?
I'm role playing here. There's no way in hell I know any of that. She's just a god that is freezing the entire.
Well, you do know that whatever she's doing to freeze this entire realm is a ritual that she has to cast every night.
Yeah.
You know that much.
It's not her.
Yeah.
She's just casting a ritual. She got some bad magic on her. Catch her alone, poke her in the ribs, she'll die.
Yeah. I could do a ritual and understand languages. She could do a ritual and freeze the entire planet. Okay.
Yeah, well.
That's fine.
Well, not the entire planet, but, a nice chunk of it. Which, let's be honest, it was cold already, so she's basically pulling a David Blaine.
We can take her. What do you got better to do? Sit around and be cold? I want out of this place. Let's get it over
I'm
with.
trying to help people here. I don't.
We are going to help her. That's our goal, right? Well, your goal's right there. Let's go do it.
Sacrificing my life to measure magical power against a god is.
You can
really
sacrifice me. Let's go.
So yeah, go ahead and take your level. I will be right back. I need to.
All right.
Go to the bathroom.
Oh, that's our sidekicks level up too.
Mm-hmm.
I really think we can take her.
See. Okay. Our proficiency bonus does not change this level. Next level, it goes to 4.
Okay. Sam, get any new spells?
Hold your horses.
You gonna finally take cure wounds?
Excuse you, I have cure wounds.
Oh.
Once per day, thank you very much.
I'm asking my patron to, as a growing power, to kind of keep an eye out for me. So, and he's happy with what I've done for him so far. So, I'm getting the lucky feat.
Nice. Yeah, lucky's a good one.
It's one of those, everybody should take it, which means it's kind of broken.
Right. Lucky, alert, yeah. Those are feats that, if you get the opportunity, everybody should take. Well, and like I've always told people, those levels where you have the choice between taking an ability increase or taking a feat, 9 times out of 10, you get bigger bang for your buck taking a feat.
It just adds to my enjoyment of the game to have a quirk or two.
Well, and usually just from a numbers standpoint, you get more. I mean, as an example, toughness is a great example. I mean, yeah, you can add 2 points to your constitution, for example. Or you take toughness, which is going to not only add those 2 points, but it's going to retroactively add a whole bunch more. So, there's that too.
Yep. Okay, I think I got it.
Okay. Is Thomas all leveled up?
That's right. The sidekick, I'm not sure what the fighter, I'll have to look it up. Fighter sidekick gets at 8th level.
I will tell you. Yeah, I always forget about that. So, sidekicks.
Looks like...
so let's see. He is the warrior.
He gets an ASI.
What level is he now? He's also 8th, right?
Yeah, they track 8. Yeah.
Yep. So he gets ability score improvement.
Do you let them do feats, or do they just, since they're sidekicks, just give them a couple of points?
It looks like they just get points.
All right.
Yeah, you can increase 1 ability score of your choice by 2, or you can increase 2 ability scores by 1. And no score can be above 20.
All right.
And then, let's see here, the expert is the same. So yeah, the expert also gets an ability score improvement. And don't forget, you also get to add hit points for your sidekicks.
And Brady's Gort does not benefit from this. He's just a fixed.
Yeah, he's not a natural sidekick. Although I think he might have the ability to. I don't know. I'd have to look it up because there's a limit on the challenge rating on what can and can't be a sidekick.
Oh, well, yeah. Gort was just a a magic artifact or something from the.
Yeah, but he does count as a. He counts as a. Pretty much anything can be a sidekick.
Okay.
Let me see here.
Because his stats are way over a 7th level.
Yeah, he's pretty beefy as it is. I mean, well, the weird thing about Shield Guardians is that, I mean, just out of the monster manual, they almost read like they're a sidekick already. Like, they can't take actions on their own per se, but yeah. See, he's challenge rating 7. He's way too high to be a sidekick. But that's okay because, like I said, he kind of acts that way anyways.
Oh, so Brady, the one thing he does have is he can store a spell.
Yes.
So you cast a spell into him, and you have an extra slot.
You could put that Cure Wounds in him.
That's true.
Then when Sam inevitably falls in combat, the first thing that the bot does is automatically Cure Wounds on him.
Well, I mean, he's a guardian. That makes perfect sense.
Right.
Right. Well,
So
while
there's
this is happening,
there is so Valish Gant, as you guys are mulling over your next steps here, he kind of starts to laugh to himself, and he says, "What if we didn't fight Auril? What if we stopped her another way?"
I'm all for that.
He says, "We already know that in order for her to cast her spell, she flies off on her rock. What if we killed the rock?"
I'm a big believer in that. It'd be nice to be able to kill the rock when Auril's not there, so we would, because otherwise we're going to be in a, we're fighting Auril.
Well, you guys saw the rock and Auril leave from the top of Grimscale, or Grimscala. So you can assume that the rock probably has a nest at the very top. Because the walrus told you that she leaves every night.
Yep. So let's check out this rock and see if we can't wipe it out. That I like. I like that idea.
Why don't we just kill her?
Much more sane than swinging swords at goddesses.
So yeah, I mean, you've got, like I said, she's not that tough. I mean,
you're the DM. You're not supposed to be telling us this crap.
Well, I mean, you don't have to be terrified. You don't have to be terrified of her, is what I'm saying.
Just an ordinary god. I mean, you see him at Walmart all the time. Come on.
Oh, trust me, I've played around with some gods. I've already run Descent to Avernus. That you take on devils and demons in their home plane, and it's a whole new ballgame. But she's not on her home plane. She's here on the prime material plane through a self-imposed exile. She's kind of emo.
Well, my religion is too low, and I've been a merchant for 90 years, so I don't know any of this crap. Somebody else is going to have to convince me that sucking it out with a god is
a smart idea, yeah. Are you a god?
The answer is yes. Always yes.
So the question is, are you going to go into since you're already down here, are you going to go into the Frost Giant Queen's tomb first before you go all the way back upstairs?
I think we should. We might be able to find out find something useful in the. I mean, it's a tomb, right? So should be dead. And,
you hope, yeah.
It's D&D, so we're gonna have something bite us, but as an adventurer, we should go in there, see if we can find something that helps us out, either with knowledge or power.
I like how
the rock.
I like how on the one hand Turpin's like, well, we're adventurers, and if there's something worth looting in there, we should probably go in there. But on the other hand, as an adventurer, I don't want to fight a goddess. I want adventure, but I don't want too much adventure.
Well, yes. If I go and learn about gods, then that's different. But right now, all I know is this one's controlling the entire northern hemisphere. So, this is. Yeah. And besides, this area that we're going should be safe. It's a tomb. It's something's dead.
Right. I mean, that's the general idea. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'll prestidigitate some flowers so that we're not offending the dead person, and say, there you go. Put some flowers on your tomb. And
so, Sam, are you leveled up? Still looking stuff up?
I think I'm good.
Okay. Gabe is looking something up real quick here.
Trying to
No.
No.
Never mind, I forgot the most painful part of this.
picking a spell.
No, actually.
Adding hit
The
points?
feet.
Oh, yeah. Definitely take feet.
I have like...
There might.
Oh, yes. Picking feats.
There might be.
I had 10 4th level spells to choose from. It was not too hard. Considering
Well, you
I
have.
had one.
That's true.
Trying to think, are there some new feats?
Well, I mean, I took it, but considering how much you have died, lucky is probably not a bad choice.
That's true. That is true. Actually, though, I think I might have some new feats. Give me just a second. So you're a bard, right?
Yeah.
Let me see what this says. New book. It's not trained at all. Let's see.
Yeah, the old book, you just set it down and it flops open to the right page.
Literally, yeah. Like my other books are like, oh, you want this, and it just goes. If you know roundabout where it is, then you're good. So let's see here.
I'll have it picked eventually.
These feats are strictly for the College of Strixhaven. But there is Strixhaven Initiate and there is Strixhaven Mascot, which you would qualify for either. Let's see here. So you would gain more spells if you took Strixhaven Initiate. So let's see here. There is the College of Lorehold, College of Prismari, Quandrix, Silverquill, and Witherbloom. Lorehold, you would gain 2 cantrips chosen from Light, Sacred Flame, and Thaumaturgy, and you would get 1 first level spell of either Cleric or Wizard. Prismari, you would gain 2 cantrips from Firebolt, Prestidigitation, or Ray of Frost, and you would get to choose a first level bard spell. And these don't count against your known spells. So this would just automatically get put to your list. Quandrix, you could choose 2 from Druidcraft, Guidance, or Mage Hand, and choose 1 first level Druid or Wizard spell. Silverquill, you could choose 2 cantrips from Sacred Flame, Thaumaturgy, or Vicious Mockery, and then choose one first level bard or cleric spell. And Wither Bloom, you could choose 2 cantrips from Chill Touch, Druidcraft, and Spare the Dying, and choose one first level druid or wizard spell.
It's not too bad to pick something you already have, because you also can replace a spell as you leveled up. So by taking something with Vicious Mockery, that just means you can pick anything you want. By changing your Vicious Mockery to something.
Right. And Strixhaven Mascot feat. You've learned how to summon a Strixhaven Mascot to assist you, granting you these benefits. You can cast a Find Familiar spell as a ritual. Your familiar can take the form of the mascot associated with the college you chose for your Strixhaven. Oh, you have to have Strixhaven Initiate feat first. Sorry. So yeah, you could take Initiate. Honestly, I don't know. I would probably go with Prismari or Silverquill. Since you're a bard, that would make sense.
You get to choose a first level spell from some other class, and that would probably be what would turn me.
Well, he doesn't have to, because he could choose, like if he's Prismari, he could choose a first level spell from either Bard or Sorcerer.
Right. So if there's like a really rockin' wizard spell that you want, like Find Familiar, then that might push me to pick either Lorehold or Quandrix.
Right.
Or Witherbloom, yeah.
Yeah, it's up to you if you want to. That is an option for you. It also give you the addition to your background that you're at some point in the past your character has been to another plane, and you studied at Strixhaven, which is kind of cool.
Okay, so I have a rules question.
Sure.
If I take Sentinel, which allows me to attack as a reaction,
right?
Would I get sneak attack on that, given that I've already used sneak attack on my action?
No, because you only get it once per turn, or they say once per turn. It's once per round. It's so if you used it in your turn and you use your reaction to make an attack, then you don't get it a second time unless it's a new round.
Okay.
I've noticed a number of places in the player's handbook where they seem to try to use turn and round interchangeably, and it's not the same thing.
Yeah, I hate that. I always get confused on the two.
Right.
One is just you, and the other one is everybody.
Right, correct. And I've noticed that in all of the players' handbooks, clear up to the latest printing, is that they use it interchangeably, and it is not interchangeable.
Let's see. A round is everybody plays, and your turn is just you.
Correct.
Is that how it works?
Correct.
Okay.
And a round, I mean, as far as timing goes, and I see people make this mistake online all the time. Your turn doesn't take 6 seconds. A round takes 6 seconds. Everybody going takes 6 seconds of time. So, the difference being is that if you've got, 4 people, it's not taking, 24 seconds to get through the round. That's not what's happening.
Exactly. Right.
And that 6 seconds for a round is showing how fast, things go in the dumper. That's how fast combat is. Is that all of this happened, you got 12 people all doing stuff, and that only took 6 seconds. So, yeah.
Yeah, I've seen some DMs ask everybody what they do and just wants them to verbalize it. And then after everybody's said what they do, then he goes around and starts moving characters and rolling dice. And
I've seen that as well, and that can get really chaotic on the game board.
It's hard.
Well,
it's hard to do.
Yeah, and I mean there are some things in 5th edition that they don't easily allow for that. And an example is movement, because they have made movement its own thing. It becomes a problem. So you've got a ranger that wants to shoot their bow, but the sorcerer's in the way. Well, the sorcerer, they have to wait until the sorcerer moves. I mean, otherwise they're going to be at disadvantage. And so, unless you go around to each individual person and each person does their movement and whatnot, you don't, if you're lower in the initiative stack, you don't know what the battlefield's going to look like. And so everybody can't just decide what they're going to do beforehand, because you don't know. You have no tactical awareness of what's going to be going on. So, yeah.
Well, if you're an evil DM, that's a feature, not a bug.
Right. There was a funny video down where the ranger's like telling the druid, like, okay, well, move. Like, I can't, it's not my turn. Well, I want to make a shot. I can't, it's not my turn. It's your turn. You have to be the one to make the decision. But if I move, then I'm not going to be behind cover anymore. Well, that's not my problem. It's not my turn. I can't move. So, yeah. Yeah, if you want to avoid that kind of bullshit. Yeah, there was a lot of rules choices that they made with 5th edition that I don't know why they did things the way they did. I mean, we've had this discussion a million times, but the more I play Traveler, the more I look back at D&D and I'm like, why did you do that? That was just dumb, but whatever.
Well, yeah, D&D's just had a problem with being a battle map game or being a theater of the mind game.
Right.
And they're trying to straddle both worlds, and it just creates weirdness.
Well, like Mike Merles and Jeremy Crawford have always said how much they hate the idea that 5th edition had to have bonus actions. And they said the only reason why they kept bonus actions in was because it was the only way for them to make certain things work. And I get what they're saying. But if they'd have gone all the way back to the beginning and redo the action economy entirely, they wouldn't have that problem. You don't have to have bonus actions. And movement doesn't need to be its own thing. Like, as an example, Traveler's action economy, instead of, D&D is you can do an action, and there's all these different kinds of actions you can do. There is bonus action, which is fairly limited. There's reaction, and then there's movement. Okay, well, in Traveler, you don't have all that. You have a significant action, you have a minor action. You can do that. Movement is a minor action. Or you can choose, I'm going to do 3 minor actions. So there's your dash. And it just solved all of those problems. It's like, it's not rocket science. It didn't have to be this complicated, but whatever.
Yeah, Traveler's got a really nice action. It's very intuitive.
Yeah, their action economy is really well done. Yeah. So, are you leveled up, Mr. Gabe?
Good enough.
Okay. So, you guys move up to the northern door, and the passageway leads to an anvil-shaped room with a door set in the far wall. Flanking the door are bas-reliefs of 2 female frost giants holding great axes. Runes are carved into the door's surface. And the runes, again, are using the Dwarvish script. Now, I remember somebody being able to read Dwarvish.
Yeah, Turpin can read Dwarvish and Infernal.
Okay, so the script over the door is actually in Giant, but Giant uses the Dwarvish script. And it says, "In ice and blood our folk are born, to our great queen we raise our horn. We'll fight and plunder in the morn. To Vasaviken we are sworn.
All right.
Vasaviken being the name of the queen. And there's this door, and evidently, I mean, it doesn't say anything about it, so I'm assuming this door is not locked.
Yeah. Okay, Tomas, push on it.
I push on it.
Okay. This chamber has another door set into the far wall. Standing on either side of the door is a frost giant skeleton wielding a rusty anchor. Suddenly, pinpricks of light in their eye sockets brighten as they register your presence.
Screw this.
Hey, you guys are level 8. You can take these guys on.
Yeah. I may be asking for my patrons' oversight here. Okay, so I guess it's initiative time.
Hold on just a second. Let me put you back on the board. I keep forgetting. Every time I change maps, I have to re-add you guys because Roll20 isn't smart enough to roll it over to the next map.
Well, I mean, seriously, how many times in a game do you need more than one map?
In our games, a lot. Quite often.
I was being sarcastic.
Yeah. I mean, why would you need more than one map?
Yeah, I mean, come on.
All right, so yeah, you guys go ahead and roll your initiative while I find frost giant skeletons.
I rocked an initiative of 2.
Woo!
Considering I'm at the back, I'm gonna let that stand.
What'd you get, Thomas?
24.
Wow. Okay. All right. So yeah, you see these 2 frost giant skeletons come to life, and like I said, they're not carrying their great axes. They are carrying a couple of rusty anchors.
I got your rusty anchor right here.
Rusty anchor. One time I got a dirty Sanchez.
Alright, I took sharpshooter.
Okay, so you're gonna sharpshoot somebody?
Oh, no.
Oh, all
I
right.
just took it as a feat.
Okay.
It'll probably come up later.
So you can move into the room and attack whoever you want, or stand there and sharpshoot, or.
Can I move to there?
Yeah.
Alright. I'll stab him. That's not gonna work. 14.
14 hits.
Really? That poor bastard.
Okay. Anything with bonus action?
Nope.
Okay. All right. Well, they're not going to just stand there and put up with that, so double check something about their rusty anchors. No. So, nothing different. They just do bludgeoning damage instead of slashing damage. So, he is going to make 2 anchor attacks on you.
Okay.
Well, evidently not. His rusty anchor is actually frozen to the floor. And he is unable to get it unfrozen. The other giant We're going to move in here and swing his rusty anchor once at Boy and once at Falling Rocks. Nat 20 on Boy. I mean, Boy's got a lot of hit points, so I'm not too concerned about whacking the dog. But
That sounds bad.
I know it does. I know. "26 points of bludgeoning damage on Boy."
Yeet!
Smack him with the anchor like it's a rolled up newspaper. And then a great axe attack on Falling Rocks. 17 to hit Falling Rocks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. "32 points of bludgeoning damage.
Cute.
And that is the Frost Giants. Mr. Sam, are you going to allow them to beat on your lowly raven person squire? Please, sir, can you help me?
Ideally not. I'm going to back up just a little and see. I will cast a very scary spell called Vicious Mockery.
All right. So, 12 to save.
Yes. 7 damage and disadvantage.
Okay. On here. No, that's not what I wanted to do at all. There we go. That's better. And then he will get a little wrench icon showing that he has disadvantage on his next attack. All right. And what would you like Falling Rocks to do?
He's gonna disengage with his bonus action.
Okay. And run far away.
And he and Gore are basically gonna swap places.
All right. That works.
And Falling Rocks is gonna shoot.
Okay, well, Falling Rocks. So, I'm going to say that because this guy is a size larger than Gort, Falling Rocks doesn't have to worry about disadvantage. He can just aim up and still hit this Frost Giant skeleton.
Cool. So 16 and 21.
Both of those hit.
Math is hard later at night.
Oh, I hear ya.
15.
This is why I use a calculator.
That's the number 15.
Okay. And what do you want Gort to do?
He's gonna smack.
Both of those hit. So another
22 damage.
22. Whoops. Okay. All right. Turpin, what would you like to do?
Well, the first thing I do is
Crap your depends.
No, man. Boy is going to turn into a grape ape.
Grape ape. All right. So boy gets the grape ape icon. Okay.
And my bonus action, I'm going to right between his eyes. I'm going to shove on him and see if I can't make him take a step back, because I'd like to get him trapped where he's not totally in the room. So he's got a DC 17 strength save.
He only gets a 9.
All right, so he moves 5 feet back. We try to get him out of the room or something like that. And so he moves into the doorway or something like that, and Boy is going to step forward, which is going to be a problem for people to get around these two giant beasts.
Right, because now Boy is also huge, so the two of them are filling the doorway.
But the point is, we're trying to shove in here to get Tomas to back up Tomas, and that one was controlling the door.
Right.
And so Boy, in grade 8 form, is going to smack at him, and it looks like that'll hit.
Yep.
And smack at him again, and that will hit too. So he takes 44.
Okay.
And that's the end of my turn.
Ouch. Yeah, he's missing some ribs now, and he's just not looking real great. See, these guys aren't as tough as they were the first time I threw them at you. All right. Thomas, go for it.
Okay.
I'm trying to imagine this huge ape, but this ape's tongue is hanging out the side of its mouth. It's all kinds of excited.
Did we say 14 hit?
14 does hit.
All right. 26.
Okay. Oops. Anything else?
No.
Okay. So his bonus action, he breaks the anchor out of the ice, and he's going to take 2 swings at you.
Okay.
Nat 20. That makes up for the 1.
Go ahead. And he's hitting me.
Yeah.
I'll take a reaction to half the damage.
Okay. So 11 points of damage total. And his second swing is a paltry 14. That's not going to do it. The other one is going to make 2 attacks on Boy the Grape Ape at disadvantage. 12's going to miss. Does 12 miss, Boy?
Nope, 12 is the target.
Okay. Okay. So, Grape Ape. "26 points of bludgeoning damage. And his second attack, 12 again. For 16 bludgeoning damage.
All right.
All right. We are back to Sam. What would you like to do?
I'm going to lot-a-dee, lot-a-dum, lot-a-do. Cast Firebolt. head this way. I can finally start making
So
attack rolls.
you're definitely going to be at disadvantage for this one because you've got Gort here, you've got Boy, who is a huge grape ape here, so you'd be at disadvantage to hit. And the guy's on the other side of the doorway, so.
14.
Hits.
Cool.
You're like, yeah, fuck you and your disadvantage. So
I've graduated from
My-
D4s to D10.
my friend Paula got me a dice jail for when my dice are acting up. It is a wood mimic dice jail. So when they're misbehaving, they get to go in the mimic.
I love those little mimic boxes
That's
that
what
look like a treasure chest, and you can open them up, and those are.
Yeah, that's
those
what
are
this
awesome.
is. It's made out of MDX, and you just punched it out and put it together. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
12 damage.
Okay, let's see. Ew. Okay, oops, that's not what I wanted. All right. He is now partially on fire. The tatters that he's wearing are on fire. And even some of the bone is on fire. What would you like Falling Rocks to do?
Rox is gonna.
So if Rocks moved like right here, I would say that he would have a clear shot. There you go.
Alright. Go on to pelts. and 16 plus numbers 23.
Both of those hit.
Damage.
Okay. And this giant frost giant skeleton crumbles to the ground in a pile. What would you like Gort to do? So Gort, let's see here. I just want to do some. Gort could run into the room and make an attack on this other skeleton, if you wanted to.
Yeah, I'm gonna have him start whacking. Go.
Both of those are hits.
Yeah, I clicked on the wrong thing the second time.
Yep, you're good.
You click on that part.
So 44 points of damage, or 22 points. Yeah, 22 points of damage.
I accidentally did the attack thing twice. And then I'm just gonna... Yeah. That's it.
Okay. Turpin, what would you like to do?
I'll move up here just to be a nosy old man watching to see what the heck's happening.
Hey,
here.
skeleton, get off my lawn!
Yeah, just in case, like, Tomas's arm comes flying across the room, I want to see that. And Boy will step into the door here, so basically take up most of the door,
Okay.
and start wailing away.
Yeah, I would. Let's see here. Grape Ape has got what 10-foot reach, so yeah, he can hit the. He can hit the giant skeleton.
He's filling up that whole square, so I figured there.
Yeah, I think he's got 10-foot reach. So do the skeletons, but yeah.
Yeah, but he's basically the skeleton can't make it through this door anymore.
Right.
Boy's doing something.
Yeah, he's kind of filling it up.
That's probably a miss. The second one looks like a hit.
Yeah, the second one is a hit.
So 22.
Ouch. Okay. Anything else?
Boy's not going to waste his time on that. So he's fine. That's it.
Okay. Thomas, what would you like to do?
I'm going to throw a dart.
Throw a dart.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you now get sneak attack because Gort's there and so is Boy. So yeah.
Oh, did I say it was a sharpshooter attack?
No, but whatever you got to do.
It would be an 18.
That hits.
Or wait. Be a 13.
13 is a miss.
All right. That's fine.
Anything with bonus action? Okay. All right. The frost giant skeleton. It's going to swing once on Thomas and then swing on and kind of continue on and swing on Boy. So on Thomas, 13 is not going to do it. He continues on with the swing to hit Boy. 21 to hit. So Grape Ape is going to take 19 points of bludgeoning damage. Man, that could have been better. And we're back to Sam. So, Sam, you've already got Gort right up there in the guy's face, if you wanted to start with him.
Yeah, why not? So one of those hits, and one of those is now one.
So, yeah, a left punch hits for 11. Is that right?
Yeah.
But on the second punch, Gort swings, misses, and overextends, and the frost giant skeleton swings upward in a reaction with his rusty anchor and hits with a 26. For 14 points of bludgeoning damage. And then what would you and Falling Rocks like to do?
Falling Rocks just chilling here. The grape ape in the doorway.
Yeah.
Nowhere to really go.
That's true. Sam can move through that area, though.
You can push past him. I mean, I think the allies, you can move past allies in 5e.
If you scratch his rump, he'll like start kicking his leg and get out of the way.
Sam's just gonna kind of crouch,
Shoot
in the
underneath.
legs.
If you roll a critical against the grape ape, I'm already envisioning what that means.
No, that's just mockery.
Okay. A skeleton.
Kind of crouching and peeking through the legs.
Oh man, the skeleton gets a nat 1, so you're going to do double damage.
Yep, you're mocking his osteoporosis.
Yeah, I don't know if the with vicious mockery if he's going to get like a nosebleed. I mean, how does that work?
8 damage.
Oh, so close. Oh. All right.
That's a major mockery. That's pretty dang good.
Anything else, Sam?
No, that's it.
Okay. Turpin, what would you like to do?
Boy's going to smack him.
All right.
So there's 22 right there. Is he dead?
He is dead. Yeah. Boy doesn't just break him into powder. Or doesn't just punch him into a pile of bones. He busts him into powder. There is nothing left of him.
Still having the mind of a wolf, the giant grape ape is morosely pawing through the dust because he was hoping to get some bone that he could gnaw.
Yes, right. Carry it around. So yeah, there's another door leading to the north.
And Brady, you just I'll quit telling you about Gort, but Gort gets 10 hit points every 6 seconds, so he'll be all healed up.
I was keeping track of that.
Okay.
Actually, he'll be healed up in 6 more seconds.
Yes.
So you open up the next door. This chamber contains a dead female frost giant encased in a solid block of ice, carved to resemble a standing sarcophagus. The block of ice is 20 feet tall, 12 feet wide, and 10 feet thick. Behind the entombed giant, embedded in the north wall, is a door made of ice. The ceiling is carved in the scowling visage of a male frost giant with an icy beard. Anybody who wants to can make a religion check.
No take.
No?
Turpin doesn't know much about it, but let's see if the dog... No, the dog doesn't know anything about it either.
The dog knows nothing.
I'll try with my 2.
Basically,
want to get me anything.
It does. So you recognize that the ceiling carving of the male frost giant with the icy beard is actually a representation of Thrym, evil god of frost giants.
Okay. We got an evil god overwatching the standing sarcophagus of some frost giant lady.
Right.
And inside this frosty sarcophagus, are there weapons at hand?
Let's see. You don't see anything other than her body. Let's see here. No, you just see her body in the ice, or in this icy sarcophagus. But there's still the door to the north behind her sarcophagus.
I'm going to ask Boy to go up there and kind of walk around the sarcophagus and up to the door.
Okay.
And in case something goes boom, we'll have Boy eat it first.
Okay.
And
so who's going to open the door?
Okay with it. Boy can kick open the door.
Okay.
And take whatever in the face.
Thomas is like, no, I'll kick it open. So you open up this ice door at the north end of the tomb. Leaning against the back wall of this room is a formidable weapon, a giant-sized great axe. Its steel head resting on the icy floor. Does anybody have identify?
I can do it. It's going to take me a few minutes.
Sure, you got time. So you're casting as a ritual?
Yeah, Boy, go over there and almost hug that frozen sarcophagus there, because bad crap's going to happen.
So the unfortunate thing is, I don't know that there's anybody here who can actually use this, but this, after a few minutes, you cast your ritual. You determine that this is the Queen's Berserker axe, which will adjust in size to match whoever attunes to it. Right now, leaning up against the wall, it is 15 feet tall and weighs 650 pounds. If somebody were to attune to it, it will shrink to the size befitting the wielder. Now, before we get
Can Boy attune to it? In gray bait form?
Yeah, probably. The question would be what to do with it in the or when he's not. I mean, I guess you could, strap it to his back.
Sif from Dark Souls.
It probably weighs 500 pounds.
Here it is. So, Berserker actually gain +1 to attack and damage rolls. In addition, while you are attuned to the weapon, your hit point maximum increases by 1 for each level you've attained. However, the axe is cursed, and becoming attuned to it extends the curse to you. As long as you remain cursed, you are unwilling to part with the axe. So maybe giving it to Boy is not a good idea. Keeping it, and you prefer to keep it within reach at all times. You also have disadvantage on attack rolls with weapons other than the axe, unless no foe is within 60 feet of you that you can see or hear. Whenever a hostile creature damages you while the axe is in your possession, you must succeed on DC 15 Wisdom saving throw or go berserk. While berserk, you must use your action each round to attack the creature nearest to you with the axe. If you can make extra attacks as part of the attack action, you use those extra attacks, moving to attack the nearest creature after you fell your current target. If you have multiple possible targets, you attack one at random. You are berserk until you start your turn with no creatures within 60 feet of you that you can see or hear.
Mm-hmm. Well, doesn't look like we came across any great treasure here.
I mean, as far as cursed weapons go, this isn't the worst that I've ever seen.
Oh yeah.
In fact, in most games that I've played in, if I ran across this, I'd probably be like, "Fuck it, I'm going to attend to it. I'll take it. If nobody else wants this, I'll take it."
Yeah, we could sell it to a lone wolf type guy who goes out and
completely. That and the fact that this is a pretty identifiable axe. I mean, if you were to sell it to like one of the reghead tribes or whatnot, they would recognize who this axe belonged to and would probably be willing to pay, plenty of wolf and seal skins to get it.
Mm-hmm.
So that was all that was in here. So you have whoever's keeping the party kitty notes, you could put down that you have a berserker axe.
Well, do we want to take it? Gort's probably the only one who could carry it.
Yeah, right now.
Or do we just move on to the top level?
Oh yeah, speaking of Gort, I'm giving you back the amulet.
Oh, to Turpin?
Yeah.
You think you're not going to get KO'd?
Not if I'm actually smart and don't walk into the arms
Yeah.
of the enemy.
If I don't lead with my chin, I'll be right back.
Okay. I really don't mind. I mean, I'm happy for you to have it, Brady. I mean, I've got Boy over here rolling around as a monstrous 8, so he's a party resource. But if you don't want to play him, that's fine. I'll take him.
I figured you could do better with the stored polymorph than I can with.
Oh, that's just a minor thing. Don't worry about it. Just stick a heal in there and we'll go with it.
I can only cast it at 5th level.
What, heal? Oh, that's
Yeah,
too
my
bad,
healing
man. That
spell.
sucks. Well then, I want Gort to have vicious mockery and hear the robot say some really lame insults in robot voice.
I could shove an attack that deals, let's see, what was it, 78 into him?
78? What's that? Cone of Cold or something?
Psychic glance.
Dang.
It's an intelligence save with 120 feet.
Intelligence save. Oh, that's a nice one. lots of damage and versus intelligence. Give him that.
What are you guys doing?
Talking about spells and stuff.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
I was just thinking, like, what spell can we stick in Gort? And I was thinking, like, it'd be pretty nice to hear this stupid robot say, "Yo mama" insults or something. Yo mama so fat.
So, so are you from here heading back upstairs, trying to get to the top?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we should, and let's ask what's his name, Akuma.
Akuma the Walrus.
Hey Akuma, we're heading up to the top. Have you ever been up there?
He tells you, "No, I spend all my time down here." Hey, did you find any fish?
No, but there was an axe for gutting fish. If you want to go back up to the north and.
He says, "Oh, that's okay." He says, "If you're going to climb those stairs, make sure you use the handrail. They're really, really slippery."
Shows my penis.
Excellent advice.
Akuma the safety walrus.
Yes, Akuma the safety walrus.
Don't walk on ice. It's slippery.
Hold on, I'm looking at this map. Oh, here we go. Okay. I will copy you guys. Okay.
And leave the gargoyles alone, Sam.
Right. Yeah, don't mess with the gargoyles. So you come back up the stairs. It takes you a little bit because these stairs are all made of ice and they are polished. But carefully you make your way back up, but you come back up and you make your way into the feast hall. And at the end of this feast hall, there is another polished ice stairwell that goes up, kind of in a semicircular pattern up to the next level. In the middle of this immense hall stands a 30-foot long, 10-foot wide, 10-foot high dining table carved from ice and surrounded by a dozen blocks of ice that once served as chairs. Wooden braces against the west wall hold a pair of 14-foot long bugles made from hollowed-out mammoth tusks. An ascending staircase of ice in the southwest corner has mist rolling down it.
Yeah. This looks like it's death on old people's hips, so I'm going to cast fly, or use my fly.
Use your fly ability, okay?
Yeah.
And how long does Grape Ape last?
1 hour.
Okay, so he's still Grape Ape mode.
I'm actually going to climb on Grape Ape.
Okay. You can do that. All right, so you guys head up to G7.
And it's just artistic license that shows Turpin in the front.
Hey, right. Hold on. Yep. Put Sam next to boy. Whoops. That's interesting. There we go. Okay. This semicircular room has a forest of icicles hanging from its ceiling, some of them as much as 8 feet long. Against the curved wall in the south stands an enormous throne of ice decorated with carved images of winter wolves and mastodons. Across from the throne, on the north wall, is an open doorway.
How high up is the ceiling?
The ceiling...
If the icicles extend down to within, say, 30 feet of Turpin.
30 feet.
Yeah.
So the ceiling itself is 30 feet. Some of these icicles are as long as 8 feet hanging from the ceiling.
Yeah. We need to be careful. So I'm going to telekinetically ping these icicles in front of us so that if they do plunge down or if they're massive ice piercers or something crazy like that, we're not underneath them when they come to life.
So you're pinging one of the...
Yeah, I'm just going to I'm going to use my telekinesis, which just quote right there. And it's basically a mage hand. And I'm just going to sit there and shove these things to make sure they're in there solid.
Okay.
And if it's something alive, then that might irritate them.
Indeed it does.
Good, and we're not underneath them.
So you telekinetically shove this one of the icicles that's hanging from the ceiling, and from the ceiling drop down all of these what it can only be, they look like piercers, but they are made of ice, and they are alive.
Not for long.
Let's see here.
Called it. And I did not read. I haven't cheated. It's just like, oh my God, those look like piercers made of ice.
Well, yeah, they have immunity to cold damage. So
What a surprise.
I know, right? I'm shocked. Everybody roll initiative. Come on. They're slow because they drop from the ceiling.
We'll do better than a 2. Ready? Boom.
Oh, shit. Wow. Thomas, what'd you get?
Oh, 21. Sorry.
21. All right. Oh, Turpin. All right, so yeah, you see these things drop from the ceiling, Thomas. What would you like to do?
Stab one.
All right, well, you can pick. Well, one drop pretty much right in front of you. You can take a 5-foot step and be right on him.
Sounds like it to me. 18.
That is a hit.
All right. 28.
Jeez. Okay. So Tom's like, these aren't any big deal. Comes up, just stabs one, it's dead. Anything else?
Nope.
Okay. Sam, so Thomas walked up to this thing, made it look easy. What do you want to do?
Firebolts, this one.
Okay.
Well, actually, I'm going to firebolt that one.
Okay.
Right back. 26 to hit.
That hits.
17 damage.
Okay. Go here. Well, he's not dead, but it's definitely not looking good. He seems a lot wetter than he was before.
And then Flying Rocks is gonna shoot that back one in the back once.
Which one in the back?
This one.
Okay.
For why is math hard? 13?
13's a miss.
Alright, let's try again. Does a 6 hit?
No.
Wow.
No, it does not.
Alright.
All right.
Gort.
Are you still controlling Gort, or is Turpin controlling Gort?
Yeah, we decided that.
You gonna?
I'm gonna keep doing it.
Okay.
I see that circle.
So evidently Turpin's got something planned.
I'm going to whack a pow. Oh.
Neither of those hit. And Sam's over here like, you said it was easy.
Very slippery.
Okay. So let's see here. This one is going to basically it's going to try to burrow into Gort's leg. Ugh. And somehow the wormy little creature goes prone. It trips somehow and is prone. They don't really have a whole lot of movement. This one's going to actually dash for 10 feet. This one's going to dash for 10 feet. This one will dash for 10 feet. This one will dash for 10 feet. This one will dash. That's it.
This one's actually speedy. It'll dash for 11 feet.
For 11 feet. 10.2 feet. All right. Turpin, what would you like to do?
Turpin lets out a girly shriek and pops up 10 feet in the air. He's flying. Just because he was expecting it, but he didn't really expect it, and then it was like, holy shit! And he's gonna fireball G7.
Okay, so that's what, 20-foot radius?
Yeah, somewhere over there. He's gonna throw a fireball. Like he'll throw it right here. Let's see, right there where that G7 from right here. I don't think he can get. He can get.
You can get all of them if you drop that fireball right here.
Maybe not the one.
You can get all of them and not hit Gort.
Yeah, the Gort one is maybe questionable, but I could definitely get the rest of them. So there you go. That's what I'm going to do.
So they will make or attempt to make a dex save. 15 to save.
Okay. And
I don't see how these things could have such a slow movement speed, but have a +1 to dex.
They're squiggly little things.
I guess so.
They can move fast.
So, yeah, DC 17 and 34 damage.
Oof. So, boom. They all die. Like, a lot. But who wants to roll percentage?
I'll do it.
choose the form of the destroyer.
Yay. 8.
Wow. Okay. So yeah. Okay. Interesting.
Turk is freaked out enough. He's gonna Eldritch Blast a couple of the corpses before he calms down.
So you guys move into G8, and you see yet another staircase going up. This room contains wrecked furnishings that suggest it once was used as Frost Giant's bedchamber. A bitterly cold wind blows down a staircase to the east, at the bottom of which snow has accumulated. So to the west of this room, there is what looks like there was once maybe part of a wall and maybe a door here, but it has been crashed and collapsed. And then there's this staircase that goes up, and snow has actually accumulated, blown down the stairwell into this room. So I assume you want to go up. Is that correct?
See.
Yes.
Okay, let me kind of group you together here. So you come up to the top. The icy crown encircling the fortress doubles as a battlement rooftop. Each prong of the crown extends 40 feet above the roof line, and the prongs have 10-foot wide gaps between them. Situated in the middle of the roof is a nest that's almost 30 feet in diameter. So there's this big nest of sticks and twigs and logs in the middle of this rooftop, and the rock is not here. And it is dark out, like dark. When you look up, you can see the aurora and you can see stars and whatnot. It's a fairly clear night, but the rock's not here, and you haven't seen Auril, so she's probably out flying around on it.
Well, guys, how are we going to, we want Auril to land the rock here and leave, and then maybe, half hour later, we come and get the rock. We want Auril to be gone, right?
Everybody can make a perception check.
11.
What did Sam get?
15.
So, Sam and Turpin, you can see that there's some stuff glittering in the nest.
All right, take a closer look.
Okay. You find that this rock has stashed some treasure in its nest. The first thing that you find is a carved harp of exotic wood with ivory inlay and zircon gemstones. Turpin estimates that it is worth around 750 gold pieces.
Now, before we get too involved in this, guys, do we want to disturb the nest before the rock and Auril have landed?
Yeah, that's up to you guys.
Because I'm thinking you guys can go downstairs and hide, or around the corner there, and I can talk through my familiar and one of the familiar can be invisible, or I can be in my gym, but one of us is up here near to where we can observe the nest, and the other one's down with you. So we have a walkie-talkie. Since my familiar has an intelligence of 10, it can talk, and we'll let you know when the rock has landed, and you can hopefully Auril will pass you by, and then we can know when to come up here and kill the rock.
Okay.
That doesn't sound like a terrible idea. So you want to leave everything alone in the nest, go back downstairs, hide, and then
with one of me slash I could be in the gym and spy up here, or my familiar can be. We'll just say the familiar stays up here invisible and spies. Well, the only thing I'm worried about is whether Auril can see magical stuff automatically, which means whatever's up here, me in the gym or Sarah the familiar, we not only have to be kind of inconspicuous / invisible, but we have to be physically hidden.
right. Hold on here.
It's a good plan.
Yeah, I wouldn't. So yeah, as a god, she has true sight.
Yeah, I want to be where there's something solid between, where I'm just peeking out of a little corner or something, and
there's really.
She's got X-ray vision, then I'm screwed.
Well, with true sight, she gets to see through all illusions and invisibility and et cetera, et cetera. But if you left Sarah up here and Sarah actually hid in the nest, because
where you're not seen, even though forget all the other stuff. If you can't see, then you can't see the invisible. You can't,
right. Yeah, if she's physically blocked, it's not like true sight can see through, like I said, she can't see through the nest. So if you want Sarah to make a stealth check to hide in the nest and keep that number handy.
Or I can be in the gym because I can see out of the gym, and you can just poke me into a pocket in the nest.
Why would you want to be in the nest?
Well, I can see from the nest when the rock comes in, or it just seems like there's not a whole lot up here to hide.
Yeah, you would have to hide. You would have to hide in the nest itself, which is possible. I mean, Thomas and Sam could hide in the nest if they wanted to.
Or you could stick my gem underneath one of these wooden beams or rocks or whatever that I see.
Yeah, they're chunks of ice. Yeah, you could do that too.
Even if I was Dayglow orange, you wouldn't see me. Just all I want to be able to do is to see, footprints as something goes on by.
Okay, so you want to hide up there, not Sarah.
I'm throwing out either one for the crowd.
What do you think would be a better idea for? So Sarah is his imp. I almost said pimp. His pimp familiar, who can be invisible, which is useless against true sight. He has the ability to go inside a gem, which is his genie's lamp. So you could then take the gem and stash it in the nest.
And since there's shiny stuff in the nest already, it might, and probably magical items in the nest, then the rock might know what's supposed to be in the nest, so bury me deep.
Well, I think the imp is probably a better idea.
All right. Well, the imp can be resummoned, although I won't get Sarah back. I'll just get a regular thing. I don't want to lose Sarah.
Does it have any hide skill? Any stealth?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Sarah's got stealth.
All right.
All right. So have Sarah make a stealth check and write that number down and keep it handy.
All right.
And then you guys were going to go back down and hide like behind the stairwell, like over here where it says up to G9 in this corner. Was that your plan?
Sure.
Ooh, Sarah is hiding good. We spent the time well.
Nice, 25. Okay. Okay. So you guys, Turpin, Sam, and Thomas make stealth checks. See how well you guys hide.
14.
And I'm going to use a lucky.
Yeah, you should.
There, that's much better. Oh, that's right. I can also use guidance since we're preparing for this.
That's true.
So, 12. Not that great.
What did Sam get?
12.
Oh, boy.
The nice thing is we can make all the noise in the world and until we're alerted that it's time to just sit still and hold your breath.
Okay. So you guys you can use the time that you're waiting for a short rest. So if anybody is down hit points, you can roll hit dice to get any hit points you want back. In fact, I will be so kind. You don't have to do that. You have enough downtime that you're going to get a full rest. So you get all of your spell slots back and all of your hit points back.
Yay!
And let me see. I, oddly enough, did not put that picture in here. Oh well, that's okay. Actually. Hold on just a moment.
Well, Sam, this is the point where if I can get Earthbind to stick to the rock, it won't fly away. But it gets one saving throw against my spell, and unfortunately it's a strength saving throw. And rocks are not weak. So if you can think of some way to get him to have disadvantage on that save.
Yeah, I think you might be in for an awakening here. So after you have kind of set up a watch and you all get your 8 hours of long rest, and Sarah alerts Turpin that the rock is coming in. And you can see through Sarah's eyes that this is, a great big bird. This thing is huge, like a 30-foot wingspan. It's enormous. And riding atop it is a figure that looks like this.
Ugh. It's like some furry goat owl got beat with an ugly stick.
And the rock lands in its nest, and this being steps off of the rock and starts to come down the stairs. And communicating to you telepathically, Sarah is quite disturbed by this, in that Sarah's telling you that this is Auril.
Yeah. And we were going to let Auril go away and wait like half an hour for the rock, or an hour for the rock to nestle down in his nest.
So Auril
to go.
Auril comes down the stairs. What did you get for your stealth check?
14.
What did Sam and Turpin get for their stealth checks?
12.
12.
Auril can hear you.
Fart.
Yeah, she knows that you guys are in here. Yeah, she hears Turpin.
Damn it, I shouldn't eat those beans.
That's all right. I've been waiting for this.
Everybody roll initiative. Oh. Well, she did middle of the ground. What did Thomas get?
21.
I'm never going to attack a god without a druid in the future.
Right?
Need that pass without trace.
Funny thing is, I was contemplating about that.
Oh, that's true. You could have had that.
I was actually just thinking about that. I decided,
Guys, I think she can hear us. We're screwed. We're screwed, I tell you. Game over, man.
Mom's
Game
home.
over.
Fucking dead. Oh, fucking dead.
Okay, so Sam, with your big 25, what would you like to do? We are so sorry to intrude.
I'm planning on holding my action and freaking out with a fireball should Auril pop around the corner. Just to let you know.
great.
I'm not going to start a fight. Maybe she'll hear us and say, "Oh well, it must be the cleaning staff," and keep on going.
I'm gonna wait.
You're going to hold your action?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, not hold your action. So you could take the dodge action, or you can ready an action until she decides to come for you. What would you like to do? If you take the dodge action, that means any attacks against you are at disadvantage.
I'm going to ready a spell
Okay.
called Rolithan's Psychic Lance.
Okay.
for as soon as she gets it. Actually, I know her name, so I'm gonna cast this anyway. Because.
So right now you're just readying the spell, though, right?
Yeah, ready it.
Okay. Hold on just a moment here. Need to plug in. There we go. Okay. So, Thomas, what would you like to do?
I want to dash
Okay.
to...
Wrong tool. I do that so many times a week.
And then is there any way to make a hide check there?
Yeah, you can make a high check.
All right. There we go.
What'd you got?
26.
Okay. Auril is not aware that you are there.
Good.
Turpin, what would you like to do?
Well, my quivering hands are forming a fireball that I'm going to cast in this general area over here should the big scary monster show up.
Okay. All right. So you're readying your action.
Yep.
Auril.
And Boy is readying an attack as well.
Okay. Auril. Move here and then fly here. If you want, you can you see her come around the corner, step around the corner, and then take flight. You can make an attack of opportunity if you'd like. And you have advantage because she's not aware of you. So your sneak attack would apply.
All right. We will throw a dart then as a sharpshooter attack.
Okay.
18.
18 hits.
All right. 13. Oh, that's wrong. 36. No, 34.
Okay. Ouch. Okay. So that was unpleasant. So that was your reaction. So she lands. She still has some movement left. Auril is a medium creature at this point. She is going to make... She's going to make 2 talon attacks on Gort.
Do our held actions do anything yet?
So, yeah. So, your held actions. So, Sam, what did you want to cast?
Ruffle and Psychic Glance.
Okay.
A beam of shimmering glance of psychic power comes out from my forehead, and she makes an intelligence saving throw.
Okay.
Should probably succeed on.
Or choose to succeed.
Yeah.
She is going to choose to succeed, but that means she only gets 1 more legendary resistance. So what does that mean if she succeeds? Does she take half damage?
Yeah, half damage.
Okay.
Wow. Divided by 2 is 8.
Okay.
You need to burn those dice.
Yes, I do.
And Turpin, your
Here's
held
my-
action.
With a squeal like a 6th grade.
So if
girl.
you're casting it over here, right?
Yeah, so I think she should have been in the area.
Yeah, she would be.
Fine,
But so will
And-
Thomas.
Oh, that's fine.
right.
So Thomas
Thomas.
make
He
a
does,
dexterity saving throw. Auril fails with a nat 1 and will take double damage.
What is the DC?
17?
Okay. That will be a mess.
Well, you'll take half damage. So, how much? You did 30?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay,
15 minutes.
so you take 15 damage.
I just missed the saving throw. That's all.
Right. But your evasion means you automatically take half damage. If you succeed on the saving throw, you take 0.
Oh, okay. So 11 instead?
15. You see her melt and turn to slush on the ground.
Keep firing at the slush. Kill the slush. Oh yeah, that's right. Boy had a held action, so he's gonna go and stomp and pee on the slush.
So it says, hold on here, I will read you exactly what it says.
Don't trust the slush.
When Auril drops to 0 hit points, her body turns to slush and melts away. She then instantly reappears in her second form. Her second form is known to her followers as Lady Ice Kiss or the Brittle Maiden. She is that of a 10-foot tall woman of fearsome aspect made entirely of ice and frost. Her eyes burn with cold blue light, and a thin cloak of mist forms around her. Blades of ice grow out of her body at odd angles, breaking off before they get too long. When she moves, her body crackles. And let's see here.
And boy bites.
All right.
That was his held action.
Boy can go ahead and make his attack.
13 and 16.
16 hits.
So that's 6 with a DC 11, and boy can yank the Icicle Queen down to the ground.
Okay. Hold on just a moment here. And she needs to make a strength save. Nat 20.
All right. So
All right. Any other held or readied actions?
I wet my pants.
For you, it's a free action.
Yeah, that's a free action. What does she get? What is her attack at this point? She has an Ice Morning Star, and she is going to make 2 swings on Gort. .22 to hit for 7 points of piercing damage plus 9 points of cold damage. Her second attack, 26 to hit for 5 points of piercing damage and 12 points of cold damage. Sam, what would you like to do?
I going to cast Psychic Lance. Make an intelligence save.
Okay. Nat 20.
Cool.
So that's good. She didn't have to use up her... She's got 2 legendary resistances again. She didn't have to use either one of them. So how much is half damage for that? I'm going to put a note in here of where she's at.
13.
Okay. All right. Anything else? What do you want Falling Rocks to do?
Is there like any wait, no, that's an action. Never mind. Falling Rocks is gonna shoot from back here.
Okay, so you're moving him back here.
No, he's just standing here.
So he'll be at disadvantage.
Wait, actually.
I mean, if you moved him over here into this corner, you'd be fine.
And that's a good spot for this escape route up this way.
Yeah, Falling Rocks will be the only survivor. You guys, meanwhile, are trapped in a corner like, haha, we've got her right where we want her.
Yeah.
Now he's gonna shoot.
Okay.
Okay, you need to make the pew pew sound effects so that we really get the imagery.
17 and 11.
17 hits.
9 damage.
Okay. Okay. What about Gort?
Gort is going to.
I mean, Gort did just get bed slapped.
Yep.
And he gains 10 hit points every turn.
Don't worry, I'm on that. Yeah, he's gonna whack and slap.
Both of those. Yep.
That's the wrong button. That's what I wanted.
So that 27 was a nat 20.
Doesn't exist.
Oh,
So
it
it'd be
doesn't?
22.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, 24 hits for 11 points.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Anything else?
Sam's actually gonna give Boy Bardic Inspiration.
Okay. Actually, though, Boy, at this point wouldn't be, because you took a long rest, Boy wouldn't be Great Ape anymore.
Right. He's just a regular dog.
Right.
I think his bite, I just rolled regular dog bites.
Good.
Yeah.
All right. Thomas, what would you like to do?
Walk down here and stab her
Casually.
casually.
And you sneak attack applies.
Yeah. I rolled a 26.
That hits.
All right. $33.
Okay.
Face your doom, bitch.
Okay. Anything else?
No.
Okay. Turpin.
Okay, well, Turpin, seeing, I think, Turpin needs more between him and the god.
You're not comfortable with this. I'm not okay with this.
Between me and the god, so boy, it turns into the grape ape, kind of shoving Gort over down and to the right
Okay.
as he swells into his enormous size.
Yeah, now Sam's got monkey butt in his face.
Yeah. And then boy, presses forward and starts pounding on the goddess because dogs aren't afraid of shit.
Right.
I'll pound the goddess.
And he's got a bardic inspiration, so we'll see if he needs it.
He will need it for that one.
And was it D8? What does he get?
D8.
So, okay, that'll hit
Yes.
with a 21, and it's on 22. And the second one hits, so 44 total damage
Okay.
And
from Mr. Great
something
Ape.
that I haven't had to actually care about in a while. That bardic inspiration does something. What was it?
Does it also
When it pumps.
can it apply to damage as well? Is it a combat inspiration?
No, when the creature uses it, it provides an additional effect based on what kind of use it was for.
Oh, it was for an attack roll.
Yeah. She must succeed on a Constitution saving throw against my spell save DC or take thunder damage equal to the number rolled on the inspiration die.
So she takes 8 points thunder damage.
Yeah, if she fails a con save.
Okay, her con save. Shit. She fails with a 2.
Yay.
Now that's the best bardic inspiration I've seen this entire game.
So she takes
this whole campaign.
another 8 points of thunder damage. And then Turpin, what do you yourself want to do?
Well, I made boy big,
Oh, that's right. Okay.
so I'm done.
All right. So Auril is sick of your shit.
I'm praying to my patron. Watch out for my sorry little ass.
She does a 60-foot cone of cold, which is going to get everybody in this vicinity.
Oh shit!
So Boy, Gort, Sam, and Turpin need to make DC 21 Constitution saving throws.
Here's boy. He fails.
Okay.
Come on. That's not a 20.
Turpin fails.
12.
Okay.
And I'm not about to use a lucky to fail again.
Can't succeed. Great.
Should have saved that bardic inspiration.
I got 4 more of them.
Yeah, well.
So the 4 of you take 36 points of cold damage.
Ow.
36.
And we are going to leave. We're going to break there, and we will start next week with Sam's turn and the attack on Auril's second form. So next Friday night at 6 p.m. for continuation of Rime of the Frostmaiden.
Alright. Serpent's taking half damage, FYI, because he's got the Winterland boots.
Right. Yeah, thank God you got those boots.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and yeah, that's true. And same for Sam. He's got Gort sucking half of his damage off of him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So Gort takes half of that 36, and you take the half of the 36.
Yeah, Gort's going to really get hit with like 150% damage, but whatever. He gets 10
Actually,
hit.
he's saved.
Oh.
So he only takes 100%.
Yeah, only.
But he's going to get 10 every 6 seconds, so, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, attack the goddess, Thomas said. Whatever, we can take her, Thomas said.
You guys are doing really well. I mean, her second form is not looking so hot.
Yeah, she's about done.
She's only got one more form after this, so.
Yeah, only one more. Only her true goddess of death form.
Right, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And on it,
Or she makes 20 more copies of herself. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
you know.
What are you worried about?
We're all going to die. We're going to die, man. It's game over.
It's game over, man.
All right, I will bookmark Auril's second form so that we can pick up, and I'll kill you next week.
All right. Thanks, Chris.
You're welcome. You guys have a good night.
Bye, all.
Bye.